In North Minneapolis, there's a group a little different from the rest. Here in this house, a group of nuns are helping to build a better community. In their house, the nuns are working to help the people and develop the community. The nuns have been living here for a very long time.
What would it be like, I began to ask myself, what would it be like if we put ourselves right in a neighborhood, and in that neighborhood, let the people who were feeling on the fringe, feeling on the margins, let them come and be a part of our life, and let them impact me, and we impact them.
When we moved in here in 1989, this whole area here was gang infested, and that's no longer true. Problem with that is the gangs are still around, they've just moved farther north. But in this neighborhood, I don't know whether it was my influence, the influence of the community who wanted to have a place for their kids to be able to grow up safely. I would say this immediate neighborhood is really quite good.
They lead by example. They are here to open the door, say hi to people, walk down the street and not be scared of you, and to greet you with a smile on their face. It's just it's that environment, that ambiance that they bring to the neighborhood that just makes it a friendlier place.
The sisters mean so much to me. They became involved personally in my family, spiritually, and also helping me and my siblings in a lot of ways. They showed me a lot. They taught me a lot. They took me places I never thought I'd dream of going or experience. They showed me a whole different life. They're always there when I need them. And so we developed a bond, and they're like having extra grandmothers around.
My nephew got killed a month or two ago, and here come the sisters pulling up at the park and prayed with us, not afraid to join in and talk to people. They're very beautiful people, very beautiful people. Even though you're going through a whole lot of things and you never know why. But then, you can call Sister Catherine, Sister Erin, and Sister Suzanne, and somebody will pray for you and say you can come over if you want prayer. Very sweet people.
One of the things that we kind of laugh about, we call them the nuns in the hood, because you have these older ladies in North Minneapolis and they're not fearful. And the reason why they're not fearful is because they have God in them. And I think that the people that get to know them are more scared for them to be in a community than they are. But once you get to know them, you know that they're protected because they do have faith. They do believe in God. And I love the fact that any gathering that we have and the nuns, invite me or I come and help, we start off by introducing ourselves, and then I love the fact that we say prayer.
Prayer is an important aspect of the nuns' lives. It has helped guide them throughout their lives.
If you want to live a life of abundance, sing the psalms and hymns to one another. And that's why we're seated this way. We're really singing to one another to praise God. And when I was a sophomore in college, I was actually in church over at St. Luke's Church in the pew behind the second pillar. And the priest was, doing the consecration, and it wasn't like a vision, but I sort of heard this little voice inside me saying, I want you for myself. And somehow that was, a confirmation that God wanted me to become a sister.
I really felt a need to have a praying community. So I continued with all of these kinds of things, but I knew there was more there. So after 20 years, I decided to make a conscious effort to see what God was leading me to do.
I like the prayer all throughout the day. That keeps me focused on who I'm created to be.
I think it's the wind of the Spirit that brought us to North Minneapolis.
I became a sister because it's God's will, and that became clear to me
when I was in college. I was in New York, and the idea kept occurring to me, but I hated the idea. I did not want to do that. I did not want to be a nun. I thought it was a terrible idea, and I loved God though. I really loved God, and I really did want to serve God. And then finally there was a priest who gave a retreat one time, and the words that he said were, ambition, he said, is an American virtue and a Christian vice. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So I kind of debated about that, and I held that thought in my head, and I went to talk to him about it, and he said, well, we have a tendency to want to serve God our own way, not God's way. And so then I told him my struggle with not wanting to respond to this call. And he said, the only way you'll ever know is to try it out. So I wrote to my aunt, who was at the Visitation in St. Louis, where I had been at school. And she said, well, come and try it out. So I came and tried it out and stayed. I liked it.
Not only do they live in the community and help people with their everyday needs, they also host events to help develop the community.
They host parties throughout the year to support students going back to school, to help celebrate holidays, to give families food to eat on Thanksgiving. They're just little special moments throughout the year that emphasize how much they care about the people around them.
They have a lot of opportunities for your kids. They offer a lot, and they get to experience a lot with the sisters, like their WINSOC program, their camp, their parties they have, like back to school parties, back to summer parties, and bring all the kids together. I am one of their first WINSOC kids. I've been knowing them since I was 9, and me and my brothers and sisters and cousins would go to their house at 3 o'clock for WINSOC, and during WINSOC you get to read a book with them, you get a snack and a prayer. And I know for my family that was a big help because our parents were at work and they knew we were safe at the sisters, so we would go there until our parents came home from work.
Community is very important in these neighborhoods, and the nuns do a lot to help them develop it.
Community means a lot to me. If I can go outside, I don't have to too much look over my shoulder and worry about nothing. Everyone's, we all family over here. We all know each other just about. The little kids call me their pawpaw. I don't know if they call me their grandfather or something, I don't know. So I treat them like they're my grandkids. So with that means I treat their kids right, so their mother and father, they treat me right with respect. So that's what community means to me, looking out for each other and taking care of each other.
I think community is built on relationships. And in order to kind of specify something, I'll tell you a little story. We got a new friend 15 years ago, and his name was Tony. And Tony had gone through treatment for drugs, and he had gotten clean. And he came to our door one time, and he said, I have an opportunity to become a Greyhound bus driver, but I need black slacks and a white shirt and a black tie, and I don't have that stuff. And I was wondering if you could lend me a few bucks so I can go and get this, get my uniform. And we said, Tony, we're really sorry, but our policy is that we don't ever give people money. but we would be happy to run you down to Target and get you what you need for your job. So he said, well, great. So Sister Karen took him over to Target, which used to be right in the neighborhood here, and got him what he needed, and we sent him along with our blessing, trusting that, you know, he was going to do what he said he was going to do, but that wasn't up to us. What was up to us is that we tried to open our hearts to Tony. So 6 weeks later, Tony comes back, and he's got a Greyhound bus cap on in his hand, and he's got a $100 bill. And he said, sisters, I'm now a full-time Greyhound bus driver, and I want you to know, I want to give you this hat, and I want to give you this $100, and I want you to know that the day that you trusted me changed my life. That's how you build community. You build community by being willing to share your story and to hear other people's stories. And you know, we have to get down to that because we're so into technology, into the social media. All those things are good, but they are not really a substitute for the personal relationship. And I think that's, you know, how we've tried to build community. And people like your church and many other schools and churches that have reached out with material stuff to the community, what it says to the people here is somebody really cares about us. And it gives people a sense of hope so that they will make good choices for their life.
There's a lot more children in our neighborhood now that come around, and we've been able to build relationships with them and help them with bikes and school supplies and winter clothing and what have you. So and just in the 4 years that I've been here, there's been a transition where there weren't many children to now there's more children, but they're no longer African American, they're immigrant children.
Before I met the nuns, I participated in a donation with my church to the nuns. This donation happens every year at Easter, but a lot of people don't know what it looks like. So I decided to do my own donation to show people what this process looks like. I first started by asking people at my church for donations. I would like to thank everyone who helped put together bins or donated money. I was able to create 14 bins of supplies and was able to give the nuns $1,000 in gift cards to distribute to the community. A group and I then brought the supplies to the sisters' house, which was a very rewarding experience. There are a lot of good things happening in North Minneapolis, but the media always seems to focus on what's going wrong, and the people here have started to notice that.
To me, it seems like North Minneapolis got a bad shadow over it. Well, I don't think North Minneapolis is no different from the South. No other part of the city, because we all got the same problem going on. Well, I don't know, maybe North Minneapolis may have a little more, because it's all the same to me. Because what goes on over here goes on over there, all over Minnesota. So I don't know why they make North Minneapolis look so bad. I mean, North Minneapolis really take care of the city. I mean, we try to show up at all the functions, do all we can to help the city, but we still getting a bad vibe over here.
Because there is a lot of good that is honestly going on, a bunch of good, but they always go to the bad side instead of look at these people are doing good. They're always like, well, we're gonna film this side instead. Yeah. Groups of older age people go up on Broadway, and you can just like go pray with them and stuff, and I think that's pretty cool and stuff, because you see a lot of people going up there. There was like a line one time, you can go up there and just pray with people, and I thought that was really cool. Because people are always just like, it seems like everyone's like kind of down or whatever, and if you know, lift their spirits up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then people have been like, I've noticed a lot about, there's a group, I forgot what it was called, but they're going around like fixing houses and stuff and picking up trash, because there's a lot of houses that are like, quite a few houses I guess that are like abandoned and stuff, and they've been going around fixing those houses up and stuff, and that's pretty cool, I thought too. But they don't ever show that, you know. They always just show the other part. But what can you do, I guess?
I would again like to thank the sisters for allowing me to do this project, and all the people who donated. Thank you for watching, and remember, there are good things happening everywhere.